And we're back talking with Meg Forney, a candidate for Minneapolis Park District 6, and we're very happy to have as a guest Harvey Feldman, who is a former assistant superintendent for the Minneapolis Parks. He was a superintendent for administration from 1975 to 1996. You also served as secretary to the board, which I find an interesting responsibility. Recently taught at the University of Minnesota, Park and Recreation Administration and Finance, and currently consults in the field. I'm glad you're here.
Thank you.
That's good.
I'm glad to be here.
This is a big question, Harvey, but it has to do with vision. I mean, we can't really talk about governing a system as complex and dynamic as the Minneapolis Park system without talking about vision. Why is a vision for something like a park board, a park system, so important?
Well, I always use a quote when this kind of question is asked of me, and it goes like this: if a person does not know to which port they are sailing, no wind is favorable. And I think that is the essence of a vision. I believe that the park board has been the glue that has held the city together, and is a great place to live, work, and play.
That's cool.
And so I started to look at the vision of the comprehensive plan, and here's...
So this is part of the formal document you're talking about.
This is a formal document, which is important for all of the commissioners to know. It goes like this: the Minneapolis Park and Recreation Board's vision for the future continues the long tradition of preserving land and emphasizes connecting people to the land and to each other.
Harvey, I'm so glad that you brought up the comprehensive plan, because I, like you, share that we need to know what our vision is. For 2 different election cycles, I advocated for our updated comprehensive plan, which just in the past few years has been updated. And I'm very proud of that because of the fact that I feel it's so important for us. It dated back to the 1960s. That's how arcane it was. And by having an updated one, it allows for greater transparency. It allows for accountability and clarity for everybody, not only with the commissioners, but with their staff and with constituents, to understand what is the direction that we all are going with the wind. It should be guided, and guided in a way that now we can make into measurable results. And that is an actively used plan today. I'm very excited to hear that the current Lake Harriet Citizen Advisory Committee are actually going to be using Vision 3 in there to align all of the outcomes of their works that they have been doing for the past several months. So to me, it's a working document. Working and living. Yes, exactly.
Harvey, with your experience, and obviously Meg, with your years of experience in some of these same issues, the notion of collaboration just has to come to the fore here. The park system, it's complex, it's dynamic, there's a public passion for these parks, the stakes are high. Can you talk a little bit about the need for collaboration in something like this?
I think that really is the key. If we're going to continue to have a great urban park system, and I believe this is the best in the country, we need to have that collaboration. We need to build bridges. We need to be involved with other elected officials. We need to be involved with the people, and we need to have the staff as well. We all have to be on that same page if we're really going to make progress and continue to be the kind of system that everybody is proud of.
I couldn't agree with you more, and like I say, I've been very proud of the fact that I have served on so many planning committees, and through my over 30 years of working on parks projects, I have been able to build many bridges with not only governmental officials, but also community leaders in District 6, as well as outside of city of Minneapolis. And in our legislature, I feel that a commissioner is going to have a very strong role in advocating for our park system.
Well, you know, as you know, I was the liaison for People for Parks, and that's where we met first. And I saw your collaboration, your interest in building bridges, and I applaud you for that.
Thank you very much. It was wonderful to work with you, and I feel very, very lucky to have worked with a fine administration that you are in, and that is, to me, something that's very important is that I've had the opportunity of working with 3 different superintendents in my 30 years of work. I've seen how each one of them worked, the different styles, and how they've addressed the various issues and concerns that have come before them. And I believe that there is a strong possibility in the next term of the commissioners, they will be selecting a new superintendent. And I feel that my experience is going to be very valuable in selecting our next superintendent.
Well, Meg, you're touching on a very important point, and that is, what is the exact role? What is your vision for a role for a commissioner? What are they there to do? You mentioned this connection with the superintendent. Can you describe that a little bit?
Well, first of all, the most important role is hiring of a superintendent. Working with the superintendent by having the clarity, like I say, of this comprehensive plan, that's important to keep everybody on the same page. This past year, the superintendent presented the budget, totally aligning it with the comp plan, which I thought was pretty dynamic. But I think the really important role also of the commissioner is to set policy. They're not there to micromanage. I have been the youth director of the YWCA many years ago. I was the paid professional. I now will rely on the professionals of the Park and Recreation to do their job, to advise us, to do the research and act as resources for us. So I think that policy and hiring of the commissioner are the most important things, and being a conduit to the citizens, listening to them, what their concerns are.
Well, case in point with the citizens, I know that the whole concession issue at Lake Harriet is an important topic right now. People are really abuzz about that. As a commissioner, what do you see your role there as? How would you relate to the people's concerns there?
Well, definitely, while the CAC is meeting, it is up to the citizens to make that have that dialogue. It's not for commissioners to come in and say, and this is how you should be doing it. We need to take then what they report to us and create policy. That's why it really excites me that once again they are aligning this with a comp plan. So we'll be able to take that information and be able to use it throughout the system, use it as a template to be able to guide us. And I'm very excited about what's coming out of there. They're doing a wonderful job, those citizens.